Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, Motor City Faithful. Tonight, we dive into one of the juiciest storylines shaking the Lions world, the departure of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, and whether head coach Dan Campbell gets the credit he deserves. The rest of the NFL may have whispered that Detroit's aerial fireworks stemmed solely from Johnson's scheming, but insiders and Johnson himself insist it was Campbell who provided the blueprint week in and week out. And now, with Johnson bound for Chicago to take the helm of the Bears, everyone's asking, can Campbell carry the offense on his own? Let's set the stage. Under Dan Campbell's larger-than-life personality, the Lions transformed into an up-tempo, aggressive unit that stormed to a surprising NFC North crown. We all remember the gaudy fourth-down decisions, the gutsy fourth-quarter comebacks, and Jared Goff's career season in Mark Trestman's West Coast meets air raid hybrid. Yet many outside Detroit chalked it up to Ben Johnson's meticulous game plans, dismissing Campbell as the motivator who merely took a horse to water. That narrative hits the cutting room floor this week because Johnson himself delivered a public vindication. Dan is super smart, Johnson told reporters in his exit press conference. Every week was its own universe. We didn't run one out-of-the-box formula. It depended on opponent tendencies, weather, personnel availability. Sure, we dissected tape together, but Dan provided the context and the detail that let us hit 4th and 2 or chase the 4th and short calls with conviction. He earned every bit of that aggressiveness. But Johnson's words were just the opening salvo. The real bombshell dropped Thursday when special teams coach Dave Phipp, speaking without prompt, echoed the exact same praise. "You don't have to take my word for it," Phipp said, smiling. "If you think Campbell is just stubborn or a simple motivator, that's fine. But I saw him dive into MOV stats, weather data, individual player grades. He built each call from the ground up. I learned more from Campbell this year than any coach I've worked for in 15 seasons." Phipp's unscripted endorsement shines a glaring light on Campbell's tactical acumen. He didn't just roar from the sideline, he crafted the plays, scouted the opponent's weaknesses, and collaborated in the film room to set up Goff and the offense for success. Dan Campbell was no passenger. He was co-pilot and navigator in Detroit's offensive renaissance. Now, with Ben Johnson packing his playbooks for Chicago, the question becomes, can Campbell replicate that success with a new OC? General Manager Brad Holmes has tapped a rising coach, whispered to be a former Eagles analyst, to fill Johnson's role. That coach arrives with fresh ideas, but few have Campbell's uncanny feel for personnel strengths and situational awareness. Will the new architecture maintain the same fearless fourth-down identity, or will the Lions revert to conservative play calling? Fans across Detroit are buzzing. On social media, Ashwuker's credit Campbell is trending as supporters post throwback clips. Goff converting on 4th and 1, shoreline shuffle moments that defined Campbell football. Pundits on national shows have begun reevaluating their predictions. If Dan's the mastermind, Detroit might be the surprise NFC favorite again, one analyst mused on Sunday Countdown. Could this be the beginning of a new coaching legacy? Campbell, proving he's more than motivational roar? Yet skeptics remain. They point to stretches of offensive stagnation this season, drive-killing penalties, red zone inefficiency, and wonder if Johnson's schematics were the real engine. Without Johnson's intricate blocking schemes and route combos, can Campbell's raw enthusiasm fill the gaps? Or will defenses sniff out the underlying tendencies and neutralize the Lions' signature aggression? These are real concerns as training camp approaches. What's clear is that Dan Campbell has earned more respect inside the building than many realize. When the Bears' new head coach stages his debut in paired uniforms against Detroit this September, it won't be a simple friend versus friend storyline. It will be Dan Campbell versus his former lieutenant, a chess match to determine who really ran Detroit's offense in 2024. And make no mistake, the Motor City will be watching every move. Stay tuned, Lions fans. Next up, we'll break down Campbell's potential hand-picked hire as OC, analyze how the new scheme could impact Goff's targets, and speculate on whether Detroit will maintain its signature fearless play calling or pivot toward caution without Ben Johnson. Until then, hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and ring the bell, because you won't want to miss a single detail of this unfolding coaching drama. If you're as fired up as I am about Dan Campbell cementing his legacy and want every insider update, smash that like button, hit subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on notifications right now, because this next chapter could redefine Detroit's offensive identity. With Ben Johnson headed to Chicago, the Lions have turned to a fresh face as offensive coordinator, Trey Henderson, a rising mind who cut his teeth under Andy Reid's system in Kansas City. Henderson arrives with a pedigree in scheming diverse formations and maximizing quarterback strengths. Yet the question on every fan's mind is simple. Will Henderson sustain Campbell's brand of aggressive fourth-down football, or will he dial back the gutsy calls that defined Detroit's 2024 surge? Early whispers at practice suggest a hybrid approach. Henderson respects Campbell's aggressive ethos but plans to integrate more RPOs, run-pass options, and shotgun splits that place even greater decision-making burden on Jared Goff. Could this marriage of Campbell's boldness and Henderson's schematic nuances produce an even more potent attack? Or will too many new wrinkles undercut the sharp execution we saw last season? Imagine the revamped playbook. On first down, Goff surveys a mesh concept where tight ends cross, while on second down, Henderson paces in a pistol formation with DeAndre Swift and Jahmyr Gibbs faking jet sweeps before Goff fires quickouts to Jamison Williams peeling off the line. On third and short, Campbell's favorite territory, the call might be a heavy package with Brock Wright splitting wide, only to motion into a direct snap read or a quick throw behind the line to a sneaky fullback. This blend of creativity could keep defenses perpetually off balance, especially if Goff's mobility remains a threat on bootlegs and designed rollouts. Yet, implementing so many intricate pieces in a rookie coordinator's first NFL season carries risk. Miscommunications in the huddle, slow recognition in high-pressure moments, and potential hesitation when a split-second read becomes life or death. Looking forward, the front office retains its ambitious window. Goff on a low-cost contract, Swift and Gibbs forming one of the league's most dynamic backfields, and a defense primed to be top 5. Yet, playoff success hinges on Henderson's ability to harness Campbell's fearless identity while adding his own strategic layer. Could we see 50-point explosions against weaker opponents? Absolutely. But equally plausible is a rocky October as Henderson's new concepts clash with blitz-heavy NFL schemes, leading to stalled drives and questions about Campbell's reliance on youthful exuberance over proven coordinators. As a lifelong Lions fan, I'm both excited and cautious. I trust Campbell's vision. After all, he took a 2-11-1 team to 12 wins in 2 seasons, but I'm eager to see if Henderson can translate that audacity into sustainable play designs. This is the moment where the front office defines whether Detroit remains a Cinderella story or slides back into obscurity. Fans will be watching every snap, every call, every timeout to see if the spark lit by Johnson can ignite anew under Henderson, or if Campbell's mountain of responsibilities will prove too heavy to share. But what do you think? Will Trey Henderson elevate Dan Campbell's framework, or is this the break that leaves Detroit's offense searching for its soul? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read your takes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on Motor City football's biggest stories. Until next time, keep roaring, Lions fans. Our journey is just beginning.